Prime Minister, product. Prime Minister, product. Yeah, man, you know product. One for the youths. Yo. Capital H, capital P. This is Prime. Prime Minister. Yeah. What up, fam? You need to fix your face, youth man. You should be smiling, not drunk off licks, acting like a Viking group, wildin' profiling, thinking you're tough, but crying for Mom Dukes when the pigs they calling you bluff. Got you thinking crime pays, looking dapper, boy, and your Timbs get stuffed. Crime slays. Young black men are wanted on park benches. Possession gets them a 5 to 10 year sentence. Try to wake you up, they'll probably kill me. But I will say they run for the prime minister and presidency. Some of them you look at as role models and actors. Entertainers on positive, they got you living backward. Hating yourself and your race for showing love to crackers. Disrespecting black women like some fudge packers. To most money's God, to meet him. In peace you rest. Took my box link and ring off. No deals on a bulletproof vest.
Everywhere I look, man, it's screwed faces. Elders and youngins giving me screwed. I hear them. But I'm not real and middle finger to the faces. Watching my God giving me screwed faces. Latter-day saints with screwed faces. We need unity, let's get back to basics. You step on my boots, I'm giving you those screwed faces.
Young empresses dressing like skets, cause they saw hoes acting silly, getting attention from big willies on bet. Metro police profile like racist, staring at me through illegal tint with screwed faces. HMV security giving me screwed faces. Behind them white stuff CDs and briefcases. CIA started the red versus blue to not be men. I see they kill Tookie to scare you. See murder did things you'd never heard of. Look up like a dog in a cage to rotting. Gunman see police and turn running man. Instead of rockers, they following shotters. Can't get the marker without links, cause draw weighs less. If they actually take the vaccine, don't say yes. In my time over money, us youths never stress. For $10 each, we got 440s, blunts, hash, and sets.
Everywhere faces, elders and youngins giving me screwed faces. Even though I hear not real and middle finger to the agents with screwed faces. My God giving me screwed faces. Latter-day saints with screwed faces. Let's get back to basics. Some giving me those screwed faces.
Yo, make it a class. Prime Minister. Product, you know what I'm saying? Yo, man, open mind, open mic, volume 1, Prime. Gotta get off these screwed faces. You know what I'm saying? We gotta start linking up.
We really wanna know.
You are for putting us in this situation, and we do not owe you. In fact, you owe us.
We'll never get reparations, face the enormous facts. Crackers don't give a shit about blacks. White civilizations on our backs. All these punks wanna give us his wisecracks. Say ambitions to the world to get rid of African people off the deck we were hurled so they could get resources. Black Christians, whites brainwash Africans with crosses. Colonial clansmen, God is white Jesus. Hand, not a gun, in the other was the African's penis. All the lies told that Africans were savage cannibals, uncivilized, we were broken down like animals. Before I continue, let me set the record straight. Africans were stolen from Africa, not guarded nor slaves. Man's best friend has more rights than black folks. When we wore yokes, received chokes and leather strap strokes. Who got reparations? Ashkenazi Jews. Got Jerusalem for tax charge on the mouth for cruise. England owes us, France owes us, Spain and hook-nosed Arab dwellers of the sand. Disrespecting and wrong knowledge they showed us with fire hoses and police bullets. Down they mowed us. If we get reparations, it should be from those rich sell-out Oreo houses in sports or TV. Blacks in courts as judges and lawyers. Black law enforcement officers and Uncle Tom Sawyers.
In our negotiations with them, that we don't have to reduce ourselves to the level of anybody begging for something.
Repair what you take when you got unity that don't break. Fund a legal system, it's fake. True law lies behind the curtains and drapes. Their history is straight hate as they plunder reparations. An institution building is the cornerstone, not gold and chrome. Only by black from black things. Cause they lop limbs to invade your home, to install a clone, just to enrich so can do what they got life on life support. It's ugly like old white lords, stolen illegal export. They got us gunning for sport, supporting what they taught. And when your culture rot, they got you fully caught. But civilized, you're not. Can't be T4 bot. They got creatures on by day court. And if that fails, they use military force. And media treachery makes you endorse. So repair, demolish their obstacle course. They got you confused, institutes, schools, and news. Not to mention law that redefines you. And when drawing the line, it becomes evident. You gotta build your own if the aim's development.
No, you're not giving in any further. You're not agreeing any further IMF conditionalities. Words and organization conditionalities because you owe us, you don't owe you. But it is also a weapon. It's a weapon that we must deploy against them because as the sister says, we must say to them, you will pay. It's not a question of if you will pay.
Brother man, can I get a little bit more light? That's good. Yeah, what's hood? My soldier AK. Driver's seat, carrying something small, concealed, keep it sweet.
Prime Minister, hench, holding it down with the shotty.
My soldier's theme, backseat chauffeur position, carrying heat to be expressed.
I got my eye on the road, high as I can be. Dual position, play the DD and the DHC. DD is designated driver, this most can be. DHC's a designated, he carry his homie. Black or chrome, either way, vertically we spray. No stop until someone succumbs to horizontal sway. DHC's are like athletes, skilled in their trade. Unless you think your life's a game, I suggest you don't play. You can catch me in the driver's seat, smoking my weed, windows deeply tinted, don't wanna bait out my scene. When your movements are dirty, then you gotta ride clean. Windows cracked, eyes peeled, looking for chickens at ski. Combination not a key, dash open, hide and seek. Gold smile, show ID procedure, where high profile me. I'm a G, take it how you get it, gangster or a gentleman. Either way, you must understand that I am genuine. Young mind and body, but spirit moves like an elderman. Explanation none, accepting credit that I'm African. Momentum shifts, gotta catch it on the positive swing. Humble-minded with the swagger of an African king. If I have it, I'll blast it. Only cops make me stash it. On the watch for stick-up kids, so I constantly laugh it. Thinking it's a joke, you can keep up. Joy turned to pain when chest plate cracking. This is life, not chess, but checkmate captain. DHCs are on point like a checkmate champion. Something in me set to take this rhyme past 6 urge. Other parts to please brother Asim. I'm lethal on the microphone. Sometimes if you don't believe me, then ask the Prime Minister. Ain't talking Stephen Harper. This man is revolutionary. DHC for freedom, we will spark you.
DHC doesn't mean that we're holding a gun. My heat is my speech that make body was bun. A source of heat is the sun. Don't run for cooling centers. Lowering your cosmic energy through your temperature. My heat is not ether, not a missile, but a heat seeker. Knowledge is power, want none of that either. The only energies they seek is power. From swimming in those torrents and signing your death warrant. You're running for shade like crackers used to run for the cave. They take your heat when you run for cancer cures and AIDS. My heat causes strokes and skin disease. 98% of unmelanated ones suffer mind block. Shotgun with the mind soldiers. With 3 times heat, you could say the gods are tri-solar. Ashkenazi, he'll tell you who's the fake Jew.
sympathy in the world's view. We're fighting those on the beat trying to drop the martial laws. My heat is universal laws, I'm partial to yours. Our truth make them combust, erupting body volcanoes. Our heat for light and tomb hallways are illuminated halos. Priests forgetting the audience. Pedophile priests want me to think that they're holy men, using gay rituals in their degrees of large orders, teaching that cutthroats like Cicero's are God's explorers. To the Greeks, only gods knew where the golden fleece. My physical shell is designated to hold God's heat.
Simply a conversation, placing self in a destination to carry heat. So many forms of heat, let's start with the beat. Beating against my chest, penetrating through the flesh, saturating my breath. When heart rate sweat, now we let inside out, talking about fire in the mouth, the tongue in the pantry, sense of physical bout, replace the statement without doubt with full clarity. The only way to stay away from decay is grow constantly in this beat. True to the root in this boot camp, some call life. Choose to recruit those who shoot for success day and night, and hype energy flow fluently from the roots, the fruits of our ancestral tree. Infinitely, simply we compose many things that have been exposed as complex as truly simple. Like monumental structures that exist before the English dialect ever exited lips. Speaking about structures that exist, we exist. Using material with our visual, critical building schools for the spiritual revolutions of ritual that we no longer blame and complain. I will master and walk in one step in the step underneath my mattress. What happened is we have to split the same way that we let our nail. God communicates instructions are revealed. The chauffeur in the back, not at the wheel. We speak more than it's always real.
Islam Moors. Jeez. Taking you back. Taking you, just so people know, you know what I mean? Just so people know, you're not new to this. We've been black guys. We've been black guys. Just played you some of the black guys when we were black guys and all that stuff, the Africa and the go back and the slave ships and all that BS that we were on. So forget that BS. Correcting Black History Month Tuesday class, Canaanland Moors. So as usual, just gonna go through some stuff just because this is the time that, you know, black stuff's supposed to get rep. So we're gonna start with the rediscovery of black nationalism. Rediscovery of black nationalism. Theodore Draper. It's not a game. Just know that it's not a game. And remember, the theme of Correcting Black History is letting the people know that the leaders been told you what's up. Same thing that we're telling you right now, they've been telling you, and you're playing games. Keep playing games. The boat has left the dock, as we say. In 1967, thus, in the name of Malcolm X, who had just repudiated a black nation anywhere in North America, Leroy Jones came out of a black nation in Harlem. In 1967, he went somewhat further. In another essay, he sought to cope with the problem of quote-unquote space. Black power, he said, already controlled black enclaves and cities, but that was not enough. Further control must be nationalization and separation. This is a black guy And this in turn, he went on, signified absolute control of resources beneficial to a national group. 67. The black guys, who the black guys today rep, are telling you that it's about nationalization. And of course, as Moors, we know that you could never, ever bring up the M word, because the M word gets people in trouble. The M word might get some people assassinated, kidnapped, and all that stuff because, you know, the Queen, the Pope, and all these people who thought that the dark-skinned people of the planet were infidels, right? Banish that word from being said. So they can't really say it, but they'll give you some keys to let you know that it's about nation, national, nationalization, setting a theme that was buried after 1929 with the assassination of Noble Drew Ali, who nobody knows about, and if they do know about him, they never talk about him, when he's probably the most important quote-unquote black figure in America. Noble Drew Ali is probably the most important black figure of our time, because, you know, the thing that he did was what everybody else is saying that should be done. They're just not calling it more. They're calling all this other stuff because they know if they say the M word, they're going to get in trouble by master, and they don't want to get in trouble by master. They do not want to get in trouble by master.
Not the N word. The M word.
The M word.
The M word.
The M word, not the N word. The letter before N word. The letter before N word. Right? So remember, right? Further control, this is the black guy talking, further control must be by nationalization. And that signified absolute control. Now, at this point, Jones consciously or accidentally touched on a real problem. What and how much would it take to give Harlem, Ho, or Watts absolute control of the resources, let us say the jobs, necessary to make their nationalization and separation viable? But such considerations had no attraction for Jones, who is, after all, only a part-time political thinker. Nor is he the only one who seems to think that every black ghetto and enclave should promote itself on the status of a black nation. In 1969, a writer in the Black Nationalist organ referred to the enclaves of black power like Lowndes County and the black power bases in the northern ghettos as black nations. The plural suggests how confused and confusing the terminology has become, because you can't talk about nationalization and nation and nationality and say black. Just like I was talking with, this is a so-called student of life, trying to convince me that black should be capitalized when I use black, because black's a noun. I'm like, which dictionary? He pulled up dictionary. I'm like, oh, that dictionary is abridged. You have an unabridged one? Nothing. Crickets.
How come crickets?
Cricket.
How come crickets? Because you didn't even know what a goddamn unabridged dictionary was. But you're gonna try to tell somebody about something supposed to be capitalized. That's really an adjective. But again, the secret M word, because it's only gonna make sense when you look up blackamoor. But they don't want to deal with more. So they'll avoid looking that word up. Because that word will tell you black plus more. More capitalized because that's a noun. And black's an adjective, so ain't no need to capitalize anything. Period. We don't have to talk about quasars and portals that are black and all that stuff. It doesn't even matter. The point of the matter is that the confused and confusing terminology that the world picks up when our people speak or address them or whatever is based in something that is not concrete. And then on top of that, they're claiming to use certain laws like civil rights that if you're an organization and have an absolute control, you don't need anybody. You need some act from some people. What you need to act from them for, if you have the God-given right to exercise your birthright. Again, it all goes back to, because then if you bring up the M word, and then that's a whole nother thing that opens up now that they don't want to deal with. Because they could deal with it. They could choose to deal with, recognizing what it is that Moors been telling our people. It's not something we just realized. This is something that, just take the black off nationalism and be a Moor. You don't need to say black nationalism because that's being counterproductive. He didn't say black nationalization. How come he didn't say that? Because he knows that it doesn't apply like that. If you're nationalizing, it's the resources. So they're nationalizing because they're nationalizing the resources, they can't put black on it because the resources aren't black. Resources are all types of different colors. But it could be qualified as natural resources. Once we start talking nation, national, and stuff like that, you can't be talking African, you can't be talking Hebrew, you can't be talking Kemetan, Egyptian, Cushite. You can't talk in that stuff because nobody had any interaction with nobody called that in modern times.
No.
Nobody. But everybody in modern times. People, go ahead, Mar.
I was just going to say, why the Chinese people don't argue with other Chinese people saying, oh, you got to call me yellow. And when you call me yellow, make sure you capitalize the Y.
The Y, right. Can't do it. It doesn't work. You can't do it. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Yes, be lacking. Exactly. Right. And again, we know this, Moors know this. So this is not something to put out to let people know who might want to learn or whatever like that. Because Moors study. So Moors done this, watching this. Right? Like information in 2 hours, not watching this, that'll be a class. What they found out, not watching this.
Yep.
So don't think this is some props, views, whatever stuff or whatever. This is about we got info and we'll put it out to those who want it. And then if they're true and sincere, energy will work with them and they'll get to free themselves. Right? Now keep in mind that these are, you know, black nationalists talking. These black nationalists have a mindset of nationhood. But calling yourself a nation, the nationhood does not apply. Nobody can argue Morocco is not a nation, whether that or whatever. Is Morocco a nation? Yeah, it's a nation. Ask the majority of people in the world, they'll say, yeah, that's a nation. Now, more is tied to that. Not just that, that. And then we look at MOR in the beginning, so more is tied to that. That's just what it is. Get some linguist to come prove some language, whatever. MOR is right there. Well, that read David Ritchie, read Othello Road, read any scholar on Moors, they'll let you know that all the different variations of the word Moor. Real simple. So Moors to Morocco, which is a nation, so we can say we're a nation, flag and all of that. So, you know, when you're stateless, you might have a say with the Negroes and the Europeans who want to play, but it's been past game time. What game? Lights in the stadium are off. Like, what are you talking about? Game. Every day, all day, these people getting their birthright robbed, and they're just going with it. No questions asked. Just going along. No questions asked. And then have this month where they're supposed to galvanize and actually do something for themselves to make, you know, can't even do that. They had a week, they got a month, can't do anything. And well, Moors need to do something. The boat has left the dock. What are you talking about? Moors need to do something. Where's that? Where's your Hebrew boat? Where's your whatever? Our boats left the dock long time ago. A boat left the dock. You know where Moors are? People are lost their mind. And you don't want to resonate with Moors when we're telling you in your own black book that they were about nationhood. They were about nationhood.
Yeah.
I'm just looking for something. You had something?
Yeah, it cringes me every time, nationalists. They really need to take off that black. Like you keep saying, though, the boat been left the dock. They keep wanting to put on black. Now I can't believe that the black stuff still comes out. I know it's because of that. The Negro Week that's here now. But they need to get away from that black. That's an oxymoron.
Yep. It's crazy, bro.
That's an adjective.
Your man said to me, fighting.
And the verb. Capitalize the yellow. Capitalize Y. Yellow nationalist.
Yellow nationalists. Find me one. With all the yellow nationalists, please come forward. All the yellow nationalists, state your claim, because I want to know you guys. Now remember again, the theme that the black nationalists, black power have been told what's up. They have been told what's up by their own. And then they want to say more semantics, don't call us black and all that stuff. That's just split. All right. All right. Page 136, your black guy book again, The Rediscovery of Black Nationalism, right? A major dive at a black nationalist program took place at the Conference on Black Power, which met in Newark, New Jersey in July 1967. One of its high points, okay, one of its high points of this Black Power conference where all the Black Power people are going to go to. All right? The conference that all the Black people are going to go to. One of its high points was a resolution presented Robert S. Brown with an E. Robert S. Brown, assistant professor of economics at Fairleigh Dickinson University, which called for initiating a national dialogue on the ability of partitioning the United States into two separate and independent nations, one to be a homeland for the white, the other to be a homeland for the Black Americans. How come not? Since you came from Africa on a slave ship. This is your black guy talking, but your black guy recognized the blacks are Americans, not Africans. And said, not take all this finance that they're going to do this separate parts, right? Not take all this finance and send us back to Africa where we came from. No, look, build something right here for us. And you have nothing to do with over here? Moors are telling you got something to do with over here. You're saying nah. Your black guy's telling you, well, they had a Black Power conference. Tell us. In the 67 Black Power conference, how come they didn't get the stuff implemented? Which that, you know, if they would have went through with that, they wouldn't have been where they're at right now. Guarantee that. Debating about. Because you would have your own black whatever. Well, because black is BS. Can't have a black American anything. What black what? When they wrote it in here, black Americans, American was capitalized and black wasn't capitalized. Just to put that on the record. In the Black Power guys book, who the Nation of Islam guy is telling me that blacks are known, right? Remember the Black Power guys, they honor Elijah Muhammad and all that stuff. They NOI props, FOI and all that stuff, right? They don't debate them. They have sit-down dialogue lectures with them because, you know, everybody knows NOI. NOI guys telling me that black is a noun. But the black guy book is saying black Americans, but black, but American is capitalized. And it's really that simple. Get rid of the. Stop calling yourself fictions. Stop calling yourself a name on YouTube that only has 1 subscriber and no content. Declare, proclaim your nationality.
That's crazy. that's a snooper, man. That's the key to an agent right there. When you do stuff like that, it is like you got 1 subscriber, and you just came here to start trouble.
That's all you're here for. Trouble starters. Right? Because they're mad because their Black Power guy said nationalization. Don't get mad at me. Don't get mad.
Yep.
Get mad at Theodore Draper. Get mad at Theodore Draper. Don't get mad at something against something because, you know, we want to debate about something to prove that we're Moors. We're Moors. Like, prove something. We're the ones with the bucket hats. Hello, we're the ones with Islam and all that. We're the religious guys. We're the ones. So don't say you already know. You know you call all that stuff. The feds headwear that the Moors wear. You've been hating. But don't be mad now that now it's the rise of the Moors. Don't hate. They're mad that people found out about you guys' stupid game. Stupid game. And again,
they made a lot of notes off of the people's ignorance.
Crazy.
Crazy. That's why they left us alone. That's why they left us alone. They didn't want to make no more videos about the Moors. None. No, it hasn't. When the last time you seen it? The conscious whatever guys don't be trying to make no videos about the Moors because they notice that they pockets. They don't want to mess. There's no debating when it comes to the Moors. You can't have a debate where people come into an auditorium and it's just shut down.
Exactly. Automatic shutdown, especially the right Moors.
Yep.
All right. Yep. I get peace of mind from my KFC bucket hat too. Right. I'd rather have a KFC bucket hat than be lacking, to be a B-lack. When I could be a national. I could be a national. Instead of being a national, you want to be stateless. You want to be under some code that the European made.
I don't get what it means now that it's capitalized. Now that it's capitalized, what that mean?
What's that mean now? You're still adjective. Oh no, sorry. You said a verb. But is a verb.
Oh.
And a noun, but not an adjective.
See that?
I mean, and remember, these are supposed to be people who study and they say they're scholars and all that stuff. We're not even talking about we're not even talking about anything heavy. Again, go check. They'll tell you about identity. They'll tell you. Because it's a fact. The fact remains that the dark-skinned people are Moors. That's just what it is. I mean, that's just what it is. Right? Black is an action word. The only only action is dead. That's the only action. Stateless. So even if black's a verb, an action word, it's still dead. Because what's going on is decomposition. That's it. Nothing else going on.
Yeah.
Decomposing is that's happening when you classify yourself as black. Because according to science, black means death.
Okay. Because that goes right into what I wanted to bring up, because we keep talking about black, of course. Now, y'all should get. I want y'all to write this down. It's called the Dictionary of Symbols from Jean Cavalier and Alan Gilbrandt. So Jean Cavalier and Alan Gilbrandt, Dictionary of Symbols, and in it has black and the definition of black. And I'm just going to read, because it has got 4 pages of the symbolic definition of black. I'm just going to say a couple of things. Okay, symbolically, black is most often seen in its cold and negative aspects, as in the atheist is of all color. It is associated with preamble darkness and preamble formless matter. In this sense, it is reminiscent of the significance of neutral empty white imbalances. It is such analogous symbolic images as the horses of death, which are sometimes black and sometimes white. All right. Okay. When so set beneath the world, black expresses absolute passivity, a state of unchanging and complete death, sandwiched between 2 white nights, during which night becomes day and day becomes night. Black, therefore, the color of mourning, and is unlike white by being far more overwhelming. To wear white as a sign of mourning has something Masonic about it. It shows a loss that will be filled, and it marks a temporary void. It is mourning warm for gods and kings whose rebirth is inevitable. To wear black, it could be said, is to be mourned hopelessly, and a sign of irrevocable loss and of a plunge into a nothingness from which there is no return. It's black.
Hold on. Read that last one again with the no return thing, because this is again going back to, you know, when we go on the higher levels of thought to realize that these people are wizards that you're dealing with. These aren't just some Europeans and then they got some Mason hats and you're just thinking that they're on some, you know what I mean, just, you know, in the coffin boinking. These people are wizards and warlocks.
Yeah.
So you calling yourself black to them? And this is what black means to them? Because remember, everything that they do is symbology.
Yeah.
So they would be using a symbol dictionary, just like the metaphysics people use a metaphysical dictionary. The UCC people use the UCC dictionary. IRS people, they got an IRS dictionary. Right?
Yeah.
Somebody said just to repeat the title of the book.
The Dictionary of Symbols, from Jean Cavalier and Alan Gearbrandt. Dictionary of Symbols.
The Dictionary of Symbols. And now again, right? And don't get into your whole, don't think that because they're magicians and warlocks and stuff like that, we're talking about some fear of them or something like that. Whereas that what level they're looking at this thing.
No, they do. They make you do it to yourself because they know your power. They make you say out your own mouth that you're black. You put the spell on yourself.
On yourself.
Because they know who you are. So they make you do it to yourself, which is that's the power. You.
Right, and then keep in mind with what just read that last part again with the
Okay. Black. Okay. All right, here we go. When so set beneath the world, black expresses absolute passivity, a state of unchanging and complete death, sandwiched between the two white nights, during which night becomes day and day becomes night. That sounds like a spell.
Right?
Black, look at that. It rhymes and everything.
Yep.
Black is therefore the color of mourning and is unlike white by being far more overwhelming. To wear white as a sign of mourning has something Masonic about it. It shows a loss that will be filled, and it marks a temporary void. It is mourning worn for gods and kings whose rebirth is inevitable. To wear black, it could be said, is to mourn hopelessly and a sign of irrevocable loss and of a plunge into nothingness from which there is no return. That's black.
Right now again, remember.
All right, here we go.
Into
black is the color. Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
That you were saying with the no return, something just came to me. And I am hereby calling on all true American citizens for moral support and finance to help me in my great missionary work to bring my people out of darkness into the marvelous light. So all you people who call yourself black, consider yourself black, tie yourself to black in some way, shape, or form, know that you're in darkness by doing that. Based on this symbolic dictionary that's letting us know how they're looking at black. Because remember, black looks like a man. Black looks like a dark-skinned man. So that's the symbology when the so-called enemy or individual calls someone by that fiction. As soon as they call them by that fiction, immediately they're in the black hole. And like brother used to say, if they can back away so that they don't get sucked in too when you call yourself that, then even better for them.
Yeah.
And like the more the chat that the symbols are so powerful, the languages, the symbols blow away language barrier.
Yep. Right. Some of these words I don't even know. Just all right, look, I just know this. Black is the color of guilt and also the color of renunciation of the vanities of this world. Hence, for both Christians and Muslims, a black cloak is a proclamation of their faith. The black cloaks of the whirling dervishes, the Melevi, is embellished of the gravestone. When the initiate takes the cloak off before beginning his gradatory dance, he is seen to be wearing white, symbol of his rebirth in the Godhead. The true reality after the trumpets have been sounded, the last judgment. In ancient Egypt, according to Horaponian, a black dove was the hieroglyph for the woman who remained a widow until her own death. Yeah, go ahead.
No,
My fault, excuse me.
No,
all right, go ahead.
No, when you said
it says
when you just said the dervishes, just to put a point out there that the dervishes are Sufis, right, which are Islamic mystics. And when you check for all the black guys, make sure you go check the dervishes. And when you talk dervishes, make sure you put mystic and make sure you put esoteric, so that you can get why they're doing the spinning dance.
Mm-hmm.
That they're doing the spinning dance for a reason. Just like when we go in so-called African culture and they got their whatever on doing the dance, and you thinking, oh wow, look at them doing the cultural whatever. They're not doing no cultural anything.
Yeah.
Right? They're living, they're existing. Go ahead, Mark.
Says the black dove may be considered as Eros, frustrated and life denied. From Greek epic to the medieval romance of the Tristan, the dire fate of ships with black sails is a commonplace. In the West is the color of mourning. Everywhere. Everything. Look. What is it? The deaths with the colors of the 13 karat deaths are significant. The deaths which the initiate undergoes as a preparation for a true birth reaps the world of apparent reality, a world of perishable illusions with the red Sith, while the world itself is depicted in black. The weapon of death represented the vital force and its victims, nothingness. Oh, wow.
No.
The same symbolism. Look at this, though.
No, I'm just thinking about like how there's gonna be an opening where this information is gonna filter through to them, right? That is gonna make sense, because I'm listening to what you're reading and I'm like, there's no way I can call myself black after reading all that. You're not even done.
It's 5 pages.
Like, you're not even done with the symbolic meaning of black, right? And then that's just in English. So the you know, whatever Asian language, they would have a symbol dictionary, right? Whatever African ones, they would have a symbol dictionary. Now, if all those things have black in the same context, then that's a serious hex that you're putting on yourself. Claiming to be anything affiliated with that.
Chinese he, H-E-I, suggests both the color black and sin and the repentance, the face being ritually blackened as a sign of self-abasement to ask pardon for evil doing.
Oh, read that part again.
For in fact, the Chinese he, H-E-I, suggests both the color black and sin and repentance, the face being ritually blackened as a sign of self-abasement to ask pardon for evil doing.
Right, and that's why they always did the blackface. Because the blackface is the pardon ritual for all the sins that they did. Remember, we're talking about the symbolic of black, the symbolic of why these people, the black people look at it like, oh, they put the black stuff on their face to make us look like whatever, make fun of us. Well, no, they put the black on their face because they're getting pardon from you. They're getting pardoned for all the wrongdoings they did against you. You're pardoning them. Because opposed to you telling them, take that stuff off your face, which would kill the spell, you're arguing with them with the stuff on their face, which makes you arguing with yourself.
Crazy. It says alchemical work began with black. So the alchemical work began with black, a death, and returned to formless chaos, leading on to white and finally to the red of spiritual freedom. Psychoanalysis will view black in dreams by day or night, as well as in the sense of perceptions of the waking state, as an absence of all light and color. Black sucks in color and does not return it. Above all, it suggests chaos, nothingness, night sky, night shadows on the ground, evil, anguish, sorrow, the unconscious, and death. Black as the color of melancholy, pessimism, sorrow, and misfortune is applied in everyday language in such terms as black magic, black books, blackmail, black market, black mass, and so on. The Romans distinguished unlucky days with a black, and different disasters have stigmatized Mondays, Fridays, and Saturdays as black. Hey, this is horrible, man.
Come on, man. Like, come on. Come on. There's no way.
Five pages.
Yo, there has to be a serious spell on our people. Like, you know how serious the spell is on our people that they're gonna still classify themselves as this thing after that? Well, how much pages is that you've been in so far?
I'm on the second page.
Second page. Second page?
Yep.
They're breaking it down to our people. And don't forget, for the 58 people, just push the little thumbs up thing or whatever, so we can get our little props.
Please. Dictionary of Symbols.
Dictionary of Symbols. Wow. Right? Now and again, we're talking about assisting our people. They say it's Black History Month. All right, cool. let's go through some stuff and see what's, you know, see what's up with this black, and then talk about the history. And we're going into black, and it's going into things that they're even showing you, you know, into the nothingness. What world do you live in when you call yourself black? Because, you know, like, as Moors, we got out. You know, we woke up out the sleep, so we don't know what goes on in the black world. The black world is its own world, right? It's not a thing that we're not involved, or we don't want to be involved, or we don't want to help our people. That's a different world. That's like what they were talking about in the Wonder Woman movie. When plane just came out of nowhere into a different world. You know?
Come on, man. Look at this.
Go
If black is associated with the idea of evil, that is to say, with all which contradicts or delays the development of God's plans, it is because black suggests what the Hindus term ignorance, or the devilish serpent dragon of mythology, which must be vanquished within the individual to ensure his or her transformation, but which constantly
Start over, because we honor all true and divine prophets. All true and divine prophets, we give honors, Islam to all the Hindu prophets. Islam. We don't want to leave you out. You know what I mean? Islam to all the Buddhist prophets. Islam to all the Islamic prophets. The Christian prophets. The Mayan prophets. The Native Indian, Native American, Indigenous, Aboriginal, Autochthonous prophets. Islam to all true and divine prophets all over. So let's just run that again. because it can't get any more serious than that. It can't get any more serious than that.
And I got this book from the library. Like, so it's free. It's out there. This information's out there. So they can't just say, oh, no. It was right there. I grabbed it. It said, if black is associated with the idea of evil, that is to say, with all which contradicts or delays the development of God's plans, it is because black suggests what the Hindus term ignorance, or the devilish serpent dragon of mythology, which must be vanquished within the individual to ensure his or her transformation, but which constantly betrays the individual. Thus, very occasionally, medieval artists depicted Judas, the betrayer, with a black halo.
The betrayer with a black halo.
That's crazy.
The betrayer, huh? It is so real.
Black as the color,
It's so real.
Black as the color of death. It's all too apparent in mourning clothes and in the vestments worn by celebrant at masses for the dead or on Good Friday. However, black is also good ground, which receives the seed, which the gospel tells us must die. The soil of graveyards thus becomes the place where the dead rest until they are ready to rise again. For this reason, Pluto, god of the underworld, included the sacrifice of black animals wearing fillets in the same color. Such sacrifice could only be celebrated in darkness, and the victim's head had to be twisted towards the ground. Black also evokes vast abscess and ocean depths, and this is the reason why black bulls were sacrificed to Poseidon, Neptune, in classical antiquity. Now I'm turning to the third page. If you want to say something,
no, let's pummel his face some more, yo. Let's pummel his face some more. Who cares? Who cares? Let's pummel him some more. What is this? Page 4 now, or page 3?
Yeah, this is 3.
Page 3.
Black is classed among the devil's colors. Dang.
Oh.
Its combination with black is classed among the devil's colors. Its combination with red suggesting smoke and flame. Satan is called the Prince of Darkness. And Jesus himself, when tempted by the devil, is sometimes depicted in black, as though covered with black veil of temptation. In the doctrine of the universal soul, black stands for opacity, density, and weight. Thus, a load-colored black will seem heavier than one colored white. Nevertheless, it must be said that this gloomy list of associations with the color black is not negative, as well as being the image of death, earth, burial, and mystics. Dark night of the soul. Black is also connected with the promise of renewal of life. So they got a chance. You know, they got a chance, but they got to come out of the darkness.
Yep.
They got to come out of black.
They got to come out of
they got to come out of the spell. It's a spell.
Yep.
And it's real. It's real. It's really a spell.
Yep.
They're talking about black halos and all. That's crazy, man. This is.
Again,
I'll be running away from black.
Yeah. And the issue is that the people don't want to accept the truth. No, they just don't want to accept the truth. Right now, we'll go here now. Orders of the Great Work, Manly P. Hall. Even the origin of the word alchemy is disputed. The prefix al suggests an Arabian source, and the Arabs, especially the mystical sects which flourished among them, were enthusiastic exponents of the art. The second syllable, chemi, is reminiscent of the Egyptian chem. Right, so they're making the connection between the Arabs and the Egyptians. The same thing that George J. made the connection of. The quote unquote.
What book is that, Grand Sheet?
This is Orders of the Great Work, Alchemy, Manly P. Hall.
Okay.
The second syllable, chemi, is reminiscent of the Egyptian chem and the hieroglyph chemi, K-H-M-I, which signifies dark earth and by extension, simply darkness or blackness. Old authors refer to alchemy as the science of the Egyptians, the dark or hidden art. It is not unreasonable, therefore, that the Egyptian word chemi would have given us our modern word chemistry, and that the prefix al, forming alchemistry or alchemy properly means God chemistry or divine chemistry, or more generally, the divine art. The basic axiom of alchemy is that man perfects nature through art. Art is the wisdom to know and the skill to do. Wisdom perfects the art, and art perfects the wisdom. And wisdom perfected by art is the wise man's stone. He who possesses it is master of the world. It's all laid out. That you have to get out of the blackness. You have to get out. You're not going to raise to the place where you're supposed to be spiritually if you don't get out. Get out. Think you're telling you get out for nothing? You just call it get out because that's just a cool title.
They try to turn birthright. I don't even like, because they took it and coined the term consciousness, and I don't even like saying that. I just, they make it seem like doing the right thing, being the more, is a problem. Like it's a big old, it's an issue.
Yeah,
it's an issue. It's stopping. It's not an issue. It's not an issue. But then you're going to be, like the prophet said, they're going to be forced to make change.
Exactly. Which they're at that place right now.
Yes.
Because as soon as you start talking about idle threats, then you're talking about or else, and then no or else is happening. People know you're playing. People know you're straight playing. You're not serious. How are you serious when there's nothing after or else?
Yeah.
You know? There was another one that you had there with the what was it again?
The civil rights?
Oh yeah, the civil rights, yeah. That you texted me, right? Yeah,
yes.
Yeah, the civil rights, yeah.
By it's called the book is called the Afro-Modernist Epic in Literary by K. Schultz. It says now they have like the breakdown of civil rights. It says the Civil Rights Act, the Civil Rights Act of 1866, Civil Rights Act of 1875, and civil rights cases. But it has like definitions of them. I'm gonna read them real quick. It says the Civil Rights Act of 1866. Now, it says extended citizenship to all persons born or naturalized in the United States, and established legal procedures in enforcing equal civil rights for all citizens, regardless of race or previous enslavement. President Andrew Johnson vetoed this legislation, but Congress overrode the veto, and it became law in April 1866. But as you can see, it says persons born or naturalized in the United States. Now, Moors already know what United States is, what persons means. So we already cleared. That's the setup right there. Now, it says the Civil Rights Act 1875. It was enacted by the outgoing Republican Congress. The Civil Rights Act outlawed racial segregation in all public accommodations regulated by law, such as theaters and railroads. The act also prohibited the disqualification from jury services or former slaves and citizens of the race or color, and set fines of between $500 and $5,000 for individuals who saw these provisions. In 1883, the U.S. Supreme Court ruled Civil Rights Act unconstitutional. In 1883, the U.S. Supreme Court ruled the Civil Rights Act unconstitutional. It says, see also civil rights cases. I'm gonna read that real quick.
Right.
Civil rights cases.
So how is it that since 18 something civil rights is unconstitutional and people today are still talking about that?
Crazy.
They're still talking about civil rights? Now, again, remember, we're talking about the symbolic reasoning behind things. Right? Keep that in mind. The symbolic reasoning. It's not the reasoning that you expect.
Yep.
It's the reasoning behind the curtain is what you should be concerned with at this point in our existence. If you're still worried about what's in front of the curtain, you're done for. Right? And yeah, I'm gonna go see we'll see Black Panther on the big screen because I know he's not black. He's not black.
Yep.
He's not a panther either. That's the animal he portrays, but you know, he has a nationality. He comes from a nation.
Yep.
He's not Negro black colored. He's not African. So yeah, you're gonna see what the Moor is gonna be up to in that.
Oh yeah.
Because the movie looks rather Moorish. If you've seen the trailer, you could play games all they want that they don't want to recognize what's going on, but hey, it is what it is.
Yep.
It is what it is. Because we know for a fact that there's no way you could talk some civil rights in 2018. No way you can talk about you're a slave, so Europeans have to give you reparations or whatever. You know, you have to hear none of that. You have to hear anything. Remember that, and then just came out and said that they found a slave ship and all that. All of a sudden,
with dinosaur bones on it.
Right? Yeah. They found a slave.
That's how they do it, man. That's how they do it, man.
Now, okay, you might have fell for the invisible bridge that they had, that they sold you the invisible bridge. Okay, you might have fell for that. But if you fell for the dinosaur bones on the slave ship, then you know you're out to lunch. You know you're out to lunch. and in the Taj Tariq Bey voice, the sorcerers did a good job.
Yeah.
The sorcerers did a the sorcerers get the wizardhood. The sorcerers get the wizardhood.
Round of applause. They did it.
So a wiserhood applause for the sorcerers because they got the Negroes so good that it's not even funny, but it's funny because we were Negroes and we're telling you, proclaim your nationality. We were Negroes too. We were African blacks and all that. We were that. So we know. That's why we can talk how we talk. We know. Why do we know? Because we study. We don't got time for who won stuff and all that. We're not even going there. We study and we know. For example, a Moor study and then a Moor said, hey, check out page 98, right? So, okay, bam. So we got the book. Check out page 98. This is History of the Moorish Empire in Europe, volume 1 of 3 by S.P. Scott. In personal appearance, Muhammad did not differ from his countrymen of gentle blood. His head was large, his chest well developed, his limbs slender but sinewy, sinewy, and his whole frame capable of the exertion of enormous strength. A heavy beard reached halfway to his girdle. On his coal-black locks, slightly curling, fell down upon his shoulders. He had the purely Semitic cast of features, the dark eyes gleaming with the half-hidden fire, the thin, aquiline nose, the brown complexion, and teeth of dazzling whiteness. Now, we know the Negroes are going to say, oh, he had an aquiline nose, so that means he wasn't really African. He was not really African. He was a pale. Nobody said he wasn't pale. They said he was dark skinned. Okay, well, his hair was, oh no, but they said that he had locks, so no hair of nothing. Well, his nose, well, Haile Selassie had an alkaline nose.
Mm-hmm.
Are you saying Haile Selassie is a European? Are you saying people from Eritrea are European? Because the Eritrean people got some little noses. They don't got those King Kong nose like some of you Moors got.
Exactly.
Right? Now remember, just because they put it in here, they're going to talk BS about the Moors. Because remember, you're not supposed to know what Muhammad looks like or whatever. He's the sacred prophet. Nobody knows. You can't draw no pictures of him or whatever. You can't do anything. Because of the sacredness of the stuff. But you don't treat all prophets like that? That's a little biased, don't you think? Yeah. And then when we check, we see that, okay, Yahshua had locks too. And Olmec heads got locks, and then you start realizing that there's a theme going on. You know, people are so out of it. so out of it. Now again with Noble Drew Ali. I love my people, and I desire their unity and mine back to their own free national and divine standard, because day by day they have been violating the national and constitutional laws of their government by claiming names and principles that are unconstitutional. He's talking to you Negroes claiming the civil rights as law. That's unconstitutional.
Yep.
He's talking to you people, Negro, black, colored people, African so-called people, who do not want to identify with a nationality, and they're going to tell you that blacks are noun, capitalize it, and expect to be taken serious by the world.
We add on, just to add on to what you were saying, what the prophet was saying,
yeah, more.
On the civil rights and the civil rights case in 1883, it says, and you got a Supreme Court ruling concerning 5 appealed cases in which African Americans claimed to have been denied equal treatment in contravention of the Civil Rights Act of 1875. In a split opinion, the court determined that, quote, the act was unconstitutional on the grounds that the 14th Amendment, from which the act was derived its power, did not apply to the incidents of private discrimination by individuals.
Yeah.
Because they privately own. 14th Amendment is unconstitutional, like the prophet told you. There's no need for the 14th and 15th Amendment.
It's not necessary. It's really not necessary. And keep in mind that, you know, when we talk about the Prophet Noble Drew Ali, right, we are speaking about the teachings of this individual. We're speaking about the message that he brought. Don't worry about the messenger. Did you get the message that was relayed? Did you get the message? And again, he spoke to everybody. He spoke to everybody. He wasn't just talking to Moors only. He was talking to Negro, black, and color people. He came for you, to get you out of your sinful ways and to go back to the state of mind of your forefathers' divine and national principles. Why? Because once you have principles, then you'll be a law abider. Then you'll have divine rights as citizens, not naturalized citizens, not citizens because you belong to some Moorish science temple. Citizen because you're in the Moroccan Empire. American because America comes from Al Morocco, which is still Morocco. So you can't really get around it. Doesn't matter if the star has a black stuff around it or if it's interlocked or whatever. Is the star green? Does it have 5 points on it? Is it on something red? Okay, fine. That's a Moroccan flag. What are you talking about? Black lines of stuff. Outline of something or something's interlocked. I see nowhere Noble Drawley said, oh, it's not the star without the interlock or the star with the black and then the scimitar underneath it ain't talking like that. Made it real clear. Red flag, green star. That's it. That's your flag. You don't need red, black, green stuff. Give Afghanistan back their stuff. Stop playing. Stop playing. And again, we have the like Brother Jeremy saying, Islam for certain Moors, select Moors, getting on certain black guys' channel and really swaying some people to truth. Like actually being the ones, because somebody was just a regular on the black guy stuff, and some guys talking about etymology and blacks of fiction and color of law and all these things they never heard about ever, that these black guys been supposed to tell these people. Been supposed to tell them. And again, we have all the evidence to prove that the black guy leader people told them that this is about nationhood, this is about nationality. This is after Noble Drew Ali. After Noble Drew Ali, these same black whoever's that are around today talking about, yeah, they have nothing to do with Moors and all that. Their people are talking about nationalized resources. You only nationalizing resources with a nationality. Somebody got the message, and some people didn't. And whoever didn't get the message, you got some problems.
Because the boat left the dock.
The boat has left the dock.
They got some problems.
Serious problems. Right.
No life jacket, nothing.
Huh?
No life jackets, nothing.
Nothing. Nothing.
This horn blew, horn blown, and y'all missed it. They was blowing the horn.
Moore's been blowing the horn, yo. When you talk about blowing the horn, right? We heard the horn in Canaanland.
It came running.
Yo, it came running, yo. We're like, what? What you just say? What do you mean nation, Moors, Noble Drew Ali? What are you talking about? I study black stuff. I never heard that ever. From nobody? No. No way. No way. And then I start pulling up stuff and then seeing all these pictures, people with feathers and stuff like, where the hell have I been? Like, what is this?
Yep.
What the hell is this? I thought only Masons wear those. How come there's black people wearing feathers and stuff like that? The hell is this? You realize people have been playing you, including people on the side of the more science, whatever, who been had this information tucked away in a little corner, trying to pretend like this is some gentleman's club. It's not a gentleman's club. Tell people all the time this is birthrights. Made the call. Went to check the Moors. They tell you over and over and over again so you know how real it is. Right? The more exited the conveyance, and I swear he was floating towards us. He was wearing all blue, had a royal blue fez on, royal blue jalabia, royal blue pantaloons, black shoes shiny, black shoes like shiny shoes. You know what I mean? Took the bags, put them in the ride. Like, yo, we have to go to the temple, but I have to make a stop first. Stopped at the fabric store where, you know, they have the tailors and, you know what I mean, they make stuff on the premises. Go in the store first. Oh, I forgot something in the car. He goes back to the ride. Comes back, enters the place, and then everything stops, right? Me and Brother Hanifa in there, we're looking around like, yo, what the hell's going on? Like, why is everybody just, everything stops? Everything like freezes. And then the cashier and the other people who were working there, you know, immediately come around from around the counter or whatever like that, go meet him at the door. Like, people dealing with customers left the customers who they were with to go deal with the Moor. And we're sitting there like, what is this? How come nobody ever said anything about this? Like, why hasn't anybody said anything about this? How do we know about Marcus Garvey? We don't know about this. How are we going celebrating Marcus Garvey's birthday and all that stuff like that, and we don't know nothing about Noble Drawley? Never heard him mentioned by anybody that says that they're a black leader or whatever? And like we found out today, which is something I just found out today, that if the finances are really tight, you can go to Chicago for your pilgrimage to Mecca as a Muslim. You can go to Chicago and that could be your pilgrimage. Right?
Right.
Somebody said Chicago is going to be our Mecca. And Mecca is where you do the pilgrimage at. So when we went on our pilgrimage, with regard to this Moor science, we got roof blown off. When we experienced what Moor science was. And remember, this wasn't some type of, you know, club and in the temple BS. That's not what we were experienced to when we found out about nationality and birthrights. Matter of fact, some of these people right now talking against nationality and birthrights were the master teachers when we came in. Certain people talking against nationality and birthrights right now, they were considered the up and coming master teachers. They were the up and coming master teachers. And now they don't even talk like how they used to talk when they were considered the up and coming master teacher. Now they talk like a grandiose black Negro colored Moor. They talk like a high horse Negro black colored Moor. A noble Jwali brought only the Moor Science Temple and nothing else more. When that's supremely a fraudulent concept. Because this man brought our nationality and birthrights. And our people had an obligation to proclaim and declare their nationality. That's all they had to do. Everything was already done. Just declare your nationality, tie yourself to a nation, and then we go from there. But the people didn't want that. That was too easy. That was too easy. And again, remember that all we're doing as Moors is presenting what we find, throwing some noble Jwali in there to prove that, you know, what he's talking about is what your conditions are right now. We're not making up stuff. Like we're telling you right now what the problem is. Problem is that you're stateless. Because you're stateless, only thing that applies to you is civil rights BS. Because if you're not constitutional, only unconstitutional things will apply to you. If you choose to be psychopathically, constitutionally inferior to everybody else, then only acts and ordinance and statutes or whatever apply to you. And for Moors, this is why the Herb's Revised Statute Moors failed. This is why the any type of act, Moors, Sundry Free Act and all that stuff, Moors who try to push that stuff failed. Right? Naturalized 13th Amendment Moors, they failed. Because all of it has to do with this clubism. And this is not a club. This is about birthrights. This is about our people being redeemed. Because they really have been sold by their own. Them sold, but with the body goes the mind and the soul. Sold. S-O-U-L-D, sold. This is not what our people think it is. We showed you the symbolic of black so that you can see how they look at our people. We're doing you a favor as your brothers and sisters who know that you guys are Moors. You just don't want to say that you're Moors. All right, fine. Don't. You know what I mean? Like, don't get mad if you get Hulk smash. Because you're standing where you're not supposed to be at. Like, why are you standing in the way of the guy who's supposed to get it? Why are you standing in the way? Oh, so because you're standing there, we're going to not shoot. Okay, you stand there then. You stand there. See what happens. You could clearly just get out of the way, but you have a point to prove. All right. The so-called, beast system and white man and all that stuff that our people are saying is their enemy, they have different plans than what you think they're planning. Don't worry about what you're hearing people say that they're going to do to you. You just listen to Moors. You go read King Alfred Plan. You go read King Alfred Plan. Think they're playing. You got something there, Mark?
Islam. Okay. Now, to add on to everything what you're saying, the King Alfred Plan, what the Prophet was saying, in the book, you might want to write this down. The same book again, though. The Afro-Modernist Epic and Literary History by K. Schultz. The Afro-Modernist Epic and Literary History. It says, naturalization is defined as the conferring, or conference, conferring means conference, the conferring of the nationality of a state upon a person after birth by whatever means. That's what naturalization is defined as the conferring of the nationality of a state upon a person after birth by whatever means.
The nationality of a state.
Yeah.
The nationality of a state upon a person. Naturalization is the nationality of a state. On a person?
Upon a after birth, by whatever means.
Now, you really think that Moors should be naturalizing, if that's what naturalizing is? If naturalizing is that, and Moors are saying naturalize, isn't that clearly a conspiracy? These people are not playing. They know exactly what they are doing because Negroes make it so easy. Negroes make it so easy for this beast to win, it's not even funny.
Yeah. The next sentence, it says, as descendants of slaves who were property and not persons, and therefore not citizens, it is appropriate historically to also consider African Americans as stateless within the boundaries of their own state. In the convention relating to the status of stateless persons held in 1954, the office of the United Nations High Commissioner for Human Rights passed a resolution defining a, quote, stateless person simply as a person who is not considered as a national by any state under the operation of its law. Article 26 of the convention, freedom of movement, states each contracting state shall accord to stateless persons lawfully in its territory the right to choose their place of residence and to move freely within its territory, subject to any regulations applicable to aliens generally in the same circumstances. Keep in mind that Jim Crow travel and housing practices were still active at this time, restricting African Americans' choice of residence and ability to move. That's why they put us in projects in little areas, ghetto areas still to this day. And that goes back to the King Alfred Plan. And that goes back to being a stateless person. You want to be called African American. So, according to the High Commissioners for Human Rights, you're not considered a national.
Oh, they got mad. They got mad. They got mad. Oh, snap. Sorry, Hassan. I just got that text message, Hassan. Yeah, more.
It must have been a good one.
They're mad at you, yo. They're mad at you.
Hulk smash.
Yo. Oh, yeah, since they tried to interrupt, yeah, pull that one again.
Naturalization is defined as the conferring of nationality of a state upon a person after birth by whatever means, as descendants of slaves who were property and not persons, and therefore not citizens. That's Noble Drew Ali right there.
Yeah.
It is appropriate. It is appropriate historically to also consider African Americans as stateless within the boundaries of their own state.
Mm-hmm.
African Americans as stateless. It's historically. Historically, you want to say your history started on the slave ship? Okay, stateless person.
Right there.
You don't want to honor your forefathers and foremothers? Stateless person. You want to be black, African American, stateless person. And stateless persons mean you can't go to the doctors, you can't get all of that. That's why look at the situations they put us through now. You got to go through hell and high water to get insurance, taxes, all that stuff. All that stuff is for stateless persons.
Yeah.
But it's bigger than that, because anyone who considers themselves their bloodline or considers themselves to be United States citizens is stateless. The United States is a corporation.
So obviously you're stateless.
Yep.
If you're a citizen of a corporation, if you got naturalized, which is a state being put on you, and then the people that naturalize are claiming to be INC, which means that they're incorporated with the state. Isn't that Drew Ali again? That your own's gonna sell you into slavery? You're talking about some chains or whatever? Is slavery? That's not slavery. Chains and all that stuff and picking cotton, that's not slavery.
That's the easy part.
That's the easy part. The hard part is how you're getting out of this contract that you agreed.
Yep.
You agreed that you're not Aboriginal Indigenous. You came from somewhere else on a slave ship that you never even seen until 2018. Right? And then people are supposed to take you serious? People are really supposed to take our people serious. They don't recognize their prophet. They don't recognize their flag. They don't recognize their national headwears. They don't recognize their national divine symbols. They don't recognize anything that's theirs. What everybody else's stuff, oh, they recognize that. And then claiming that that's theirs. Well, those guys aren't the real Egyptians. Those guys aren't the real whoever. We're the real whatever. But when it's time to be the real Moors, nobody wants to stand up. And as I said from the beginning, these people are passive. Passive.
Yeah.
Right? And Nobudrali said all Moors are active. So, it goes right back to that thing again. If you're passive, clearly you're not a Moor. Yeah, by bloodline you're a Moor, but you're not being who you are because all Moors are active. So if you're not active, then you're not part of all Moors, which means you're not a Moor. And again, yes, we know your bloodlines are Moor, but you abandon that by claiming to be something that you're not, by claiming to live by principles that aren't your principles, by claiming to live by a religion that's not your religion, by claiming to, know something when you don't study, by claiming to know something and then you don't study again, and by claiming to know something again and then you don't study again. Not one of the 3 times did you study, but you're supposed to take you serious?
Because black is a bird.
Right? Like the Moor said. They said that they found the slave ship with Barney bones on it.
Yep.
And these people are going to flock around the freaking thing. These people are going to go to the museum to see the Barney bones on the slave ship.
Yep.
Not the ex-slave bones, the Barney bones.
Yep.
And say that, yes, that is a real slave ship.
Yep.
They might even have Barney in chains on the slave ship just to show them, just to prove that they got this. They got this. Blacks don't got this. That's just like they're complaining about some commercial Super Bowl commercial culture appropriation BS that they're doing showing something but playing black music in the back so the black people would be brainwashed into whatever. Black people brainwashed into nothing.
Yep.
The hell are you talking about?
Like I told my Moabite earlier, I thought they were supposed to be protesting the football game. Y'all ain't even supposed to be watching football right now.
How the hell are you watching? Like, what do you mean you're watching football? What do you mean? What do you mean you bought chips and you have dip? What the hell are you talking about? How does that even make any sense whatsoever? Like, whatever happened to Kaepernick? Like, has his name even been in the news at all? Instead of looking for slave ship, where's Kaepernick? Let's find him. Do you even get on a team yet? You guys going to watch football? What the hell is going on? The Moors had ships and dip.
It's crazy.
Chips and dip, yo. Yes. With our KFC chicken and our bucket hats. And we got this. We got this. Let's go on this. Let's go on the slave ship that left the dock.
Yep.
People are tripping. Tripping. So we'll drop this from Noble Drew Ali again. Right. So I, the prophet, am hereby calling aloud with a divine plea to all true American citizens to help me to remove this great sin which has been committed and is being practiced by my people in the United States of America, because they know it is not the true and divine way, and without understanding, they have fallen from the true light into utter darkness of sin. And there is not a nation on earth today that will recognize them socially, religiously, politically, or economically, etc., in their present condition of their endeavorment in which they themselves try to force upon a civilized world. They will not refrain from their sinful ways of action, and their deeds have brought Jim Crowism, segregation, and everything that brings harm to human beings on earth. And they fought the Southerner for these great misuses. But I have traveled in the South, and I have examined the conditions there. And it is the works of my people continuously practicing the things which bring dishonor, disgrace, and disrespect to any nation that lives the life. And I am hereby calling on all true American citizens for moral support and finance to help me in my great missionary work to bring my people out of darkness into the marvelous light from the prophet. Islam to all the Moors worldwide. Peace and love to all the Moors. We want to say, don't forget, 9:30 Eastern Standard Time, MHHS, eyes wide open. 9:30 Eastern Time, blogtalkradio.com/MHHS, eyes wide open. Call-in number 425-569-5201. 347-945-5899. 347-945-5899 and 425-569-5201. Islam to all the Moors worldwide. Islam, Moor, you there?
Islam. I'm sorry about that earlier. My fault.
Oh, it's all good, Moor.
Yeah, but Islam to all the Moors, and if flowers went up, I got so much more information that I didn't get to. Man, a lot more information.
Don't worry, we'll hit
that
it.
Was,
we'll get it done.
Yeah.
We'll get it done.
Yep. Islam to all the Moors in the chat. They held it down. I seen them. Islam to the prophet, because you can see him, and everybody's. It's like everybody knows about Noble Drew Ali, except for the people who supposed to know about Noble Drew Ali. And everything I read.
There's the people that call themselves.
Go ahead. Go ahead. Say it. Go ahead. Tell them.
People that don't know call themselves black.
Yeah. There you go.
Exactly.
Islam more.
Islam more.
Hey, too. Please take your offspring to go see Black Panther. Because my son, he want to go see Black Panther, but he knows he's not black. He'll tell you about anything you want to hear. He'll go through the one-on-one questionnaire better than anybody. He'll tell you about the Christian black codes in 1724 better than anybody. Better than anybody. And he's 9. And he goes in hard, 9 years old. It's remarkable the stuff he does. He corrects me, everything I do. If I say something wrong, he's on me. If I say car, he's like, conveyance, 9 years old. So if your offspring is doing something like that, please treat him to go see Black Panther because he's already good. He's not gonna. He knows he's from Morocco. It just bugs me out to see them how he thinks like that. Like he knows. Like Massachusetts is a corporation. Out the womb, he knew that. Like he know that. Like that's Walmart. That's Morocco. Like to see somebody like really know that is amazing.
Yeah.
It's amazing. But I know Blog Talk's coming on.
Yeah, yo.
But hold on, real quick.
Yeah.
Because I want to tell you how like important that is. Because I remember it was one of them shows on TV where they hooked them people up to the lie detector thing, right?
Yeah.
And tell you how fraudulent that thing is, but still, they had asked the sister if she was from Chicago, Illinois for a pretest, like just to warm it up. They wanted to see if she could just start telling the truth. And they asked her if she was from Chicago, Illinois. She said yes. But off rip, I knew that's a lie. She can't be from Chicago, Illinois. Chicago, Illinois is a corporation.
Yeah.
but the way the mind works, so powerful that your body and your soul and spirit will accept that I'm from a corporation.
Right.
Like that's how deep it goes. Like so, we know. Like we said, we were black, so I know how hard it is.
Yeah.
Just like she can just, her body just knows. Like yes, I'm from Chicago. Like no, that's a lie.
Straight up.
Yeah, just lots all the more. Good thanks, Grant Sheet.
Yeah, much for you, bro, for staying on. You know, you already know how it goes. Islam to the 63 Moors out there. Make sure you do your little thumbs up stuff, right? Make sure that you support. You got, you know, music.
And slap yourself, whoever thumbs down. Slap yourself.
Oh yeah, slap yourself. One slap. One slap to yourself for thumbs
Quick
down.
pass.
Straight, yeah. Islam Moors, get your little tea, get your little stuff going on, because you already know in 10 minutes you better know what to do, or it ain't happening.
It ain't happening. I'm telling you, it's not happening.
So peace and love to all the Moors. Islam.
That's right.